Hello and welcome to Newsroom series on Channels Television. I'm Joke Rogers. Today our attention is on the southwest region, where attention is shifting to Osun State, where the governorship election is holding this weekend as political parties intensify campaigns, rallies and voter mobilization across the state. The Independent National Electoral Commission assures that the elections will be free and fair. Well, INEC says voting population for the election is 2.3 million voters, while the percentage of collected permanent voter cards is 62%. For the election, INEC will be providing 3,763 BVAS machines, and there will be a backup of 1,328 to fill the gap in case of malfunctioning machines. Now, so far, 2,333,233 have been registered in the state. In all, there are 30 local government areas in Osun State. Ahead of the election, INEC is assuring residents of adequate deployment of security to flashpoints, while civil service groups are also calling for a peaceful conduct that will increase voters' turnout during the election. Well, the Osun State governorship race has taken a new turn following the endorsement of the All Progressives Congress candidate Bola Oyebamiji by former Osun State Governor and People's Democratic Party chieftain Olagusoye Oyinlola alongside other top PDP leaders. Speaking at the event in Osogbo, the state capital, Mr. Oyinlola said that the decision was based on the need for a new direction in the state's development. The endorsement comes ahead of the August 15 governorship election in Osun State.
We are not here to renounce our membership of the PDP. Rather, we are exercising our conscience as stakeholders who have served this state and who believe that at this particular moment, Osun State requires a different direction. It is on this basis that we have resolved to officially declare our support for Mr. Bola Oyebamiji Oyebamiji, popularly known as Ambo, the governorship candidate of All Progressive Congress. Our support for Ambo is therefore a decision born out of necessity, conviction, and a sincere desire for progress of Osun State.
Let me tell you that what is happening today is the climax of all series of endorsements. Just yesterday, the APGA endorsed me, the NURTW, the hunters, the market women, the market men, the civil servants, and all Sundays in Osun, they have endorsed Ambo. This is a sign, this is a signal that come 15th of August 2026, Ambo will carry the day.
Staying with politics in Osun State, the APC governorship candidate in the state, Bola Oyebamiji, says his administration will prioritize youth empowerment through innovative and entrepreneurship programs. Mr. Oyebamiji made the commitment while addressing young people at an interactive session in Osogbo. Says the initiatives will create opportunities for youth to develop their skills, pursue entrepreneurship, and contribute meaningfully to the economic development of Osun State.
Youths from across the 30 local government areas of Osun State turn out in large numbers, filling this auditorium to connect directly with the APC governorship candidate Bola Oyebamiji. The interactive session offered young citizens a platform to lay out their core demands while hearing firsthand how the candidate intends to address their future. Taking center stage, Oyo APC reassured the gathering that he recognizes their daily struggles and is ready with practical solutions. He unveiled a comprehensive strategic blueprint spanning job creation, skill acquisition, digital technology, agribusiness, and the creative sector.
As an individual, I know the challenges and I know the solutions to them. Under my leadership, Osun will experience a new era. We will work for you and make you happy.
Reinforcing this commitment is running mate Kayode Adereti, himself a representative of the youth constituency, pledged that an Oyo APC administration will integrate students and young professionals into the heart of state development and decision making.
We are going to empower the youth. The youth are going to be trained. And when the youth are trained, what happens? The youth are empowered. Because knowledge is very important. And I can assure you that the administration of Asiwaju Munurudin Bola Oyebanji is going to build, is going to increase human capacity.
Prominent party figures, including Ayodele Asalu, chairman of the Directorate of Youth, Students and Civil Societies for the APC Campaign Council, alongside former state lawmaker Lekan Olatuji, also addressed the gathering.
When citizens understand the programs and the priorities of those seeking public office, elections becomes contest of ideas, capacity and vision, rather than simply slogans and sentiments.
The manifesto was developed and designed with the youth being involved. We can no longer continue to design programs and policy for the young persons. They must also be part of the process of development, the execution, as well as the monitoring and evaluation of the programs and policy.
The engagement provided a crucial platform for the APC flag bearer to showcase a 7-point development agenda for Osun State, a vision built on poverty alleviation, job creation, youth and women empowerment, agricultural revitalization, quality healthcare, infrastructure renewal, and cultural tourism.
Staying with party politics, this time in Oyo State, where the Reconciliation Committee is set up to harmonize all APC leaders, aspirants and members across the state, appears to be making headway in its efforts, as 4 governorship aspirants of the All Progressives Congress have now rallied behind the party's candidate in the state, Senator Sharafuddin Ali. The development followed a strategic meeting involving key APC stakeholders in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. This major step, the 4 governorship aspirants are former Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Rauf Olaniyan, Honorable Akim Alao, Honorable Musibau Ashanike, and Honorable Usman Bakare. This major step to align with Mr. Ali represents a significant step towards resolving differences and consolidating the party around its recognized candidate for the elections next year.
Oyo State has a critical role to play in securing the 2027 mandate with our President, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed GCR. We must therefore approach the coming election with discipline, unity, and determination, and work collectively to deliver overwhelmingly for the President and all APC candidates. We aspirants hereby declare we are unwavering and unflinching support for the party's presidential candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The Oyo State gubernatorial candidate, Senator Sharafuddin Ali, and all other APC candidates in the forthcoming 2027 general election. Now they will fully support, cooperate, collaborate, and tirelessly work with the party's candidates.
Staying in Oyo State, the 2027 general elections continues to stir political conversations across the country, with the Social Democratic Party's presidential candidate Adewale Adebayo calling for a campaign culture driven by character, records, ideas and vision rather than religious sentiments. He made the call in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, during the biennial conference of the Methodist Church. According to him, politicians must resist the temptation to exploit the religious differences for political gains and instead allow competence, antecedents and vision for the country to shape the choices before Nigerians. Our correspondent Bukola Oriowo reports.
Though a religious event, the biennial conference of the Methodist Church Nigeria in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, serves as a platform to discuss the state of the nation with a focus on elections, national unity and good governance. In attendance are former President Olusegun Obasanjo and one of the guest speakers, the SDP presidential candidate Adewale Adebayo. With campaigns set to begin ahead of the 2027 general elections, discussions center on the need for politicians to end campaigns rooted in religious bias and shift towards issue-based, vision-driven platforms aimed at improving the lives of Nigerians.
We will be the opposite of Tinubu. We will remove insecurity, we will remove poverty, we will remove lack of accountability, we will install the rule of law, we will give you prosperity, not austerity. We will restore all the benefits, subsidies and welfare.
He says the Social Democratic Party's campaigns will focus on tackling insecurity, curbing unemployment, restoring accountability and strengthening the rule of law.
You don't use religion to campaign. You use your life work, your character, your behavior, your record, your ideas and visions. Those are the things you use to campaign. Nigerian people are the same. The God we are worshiping is the same. The leaders that are killing us, they are the same. So what we need is to change our mind and be a better people, and to change our leaders who have not allowed the glory of God to shine in the life of every Nigerian.
National chairman of the party, Professor Sadiq Gombe, highlights the party's structure as its main competitive edge. He notes that the SDP remains focused on building robust organizational structures nationwide and mobilizing citizens from the grassroots to the national level.
So I want to assure you that the SDP is up and doing, and we are calling on Nigerians to believe in the SDP and in particular in our candidates. You can see that across board we have done everything possible to present Nigeria with a credible alternative through a free, fair and credible party primaries that produce some of the best Nigerians as our candidates.
With the 2027 elections drawing closer, expectations remain that political parties will place competence, accountability and issue-based campaigns ahead of divisive rhetoric and their quest for voters' support. Bukola Oriowo, Channel Television News.
Staying with the general elections next year, we turn our attention to Ondo State, where the candidate of the Allied People's Movement for the Ondo Central Senatorial District, Sunday Falaye, has declared that the party will defeat the ruling All Progressives Congress in the district. Mr. Falaye says the senatorial district deserves better representation at the National Assembly, accusing the APC of failing to make meaningful impact on the lives of residents, particularly those in Akure, the state capital. According to him, the APC's claim that it had no opposition in Ondo State is merely a strategy to intimidate other political parties and their supporters. He insists that contemporary politics is increasingly driven by the personality and popularity of candidates rather than political party structures. When we come back on Newsroom series, we'll have other stories for you as we stare away from politics to sustainable environment in Ogun State. That's in a moment. Do stay with us.
We all see the world differently. But our time zones, politics, diplomacy, and sometimes conflict all converge in one place on The World Today. The World Today brings you those headlines from around the world with in-depth discussions that help you understand the world we live in. Don't be in the dark. Catch us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. only on Channels Television.
Welcome back. We're in Ogun State now, where Governor Dapo Abiodun has called for collective action towards protecting the environment, restoring degraded ecosystems, and securing a future where economic progress and environmental sustainability advance together. Represented by his deputy, Noimot Salako Yedele, the governor further expresses that this year's theme of Ogun Tree Planting Day is particularly timely as he pledges the state's support for the federal government's environmental sustainability agenda.
The effects of climate change is no longer a distant concern as rising temperature, flooding, long dry season, land degradation, and biodiversity loss realities are increasingly affecting communities, livelihood, and the economy, with Ogun State and Nigeria at large not left out. This year's event, which brought together students, government officials, development partners, environmental activists, is a call to action towards the promotion of environmental stewardship.
Every industry that is established in Ogun State, there are trees that you cut off from clearing the land and the rest of it. So while the Ministry of Forestry ensures that every industry must plant trees at our forestry reserve, the Ministry of Environment ensures that the community will continue to grow trees within our towns and our cities.
Highlighting the journey so far in sustainable forest reserves development, the State Commissioner for Forestry said about 3 million trees have been planted, while 6 of the 9 moribund forest reserves in the state have been reactivated.
We have 9 forest reserves in Ogun State. Out of these 9 forest reserves in Ogun State, about 6 has gone moribund. But with this government, we have been able to resuscitate all these forest reserves in Ogun State. So we have a very good forest cover.
The State Deputy Governor seizes the occasion to enlist the understanding and support of residents through tree planting, investment in afforestation, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, green infrastructure, waste management, environmental sanitation, and improvement in flood control mechanisms.
As we distribute another round of seedlings today, let every beneficiary remember that receiving a tree means accepting responsibility for its survival. The success of this program will ultimately not be measured by how many seedlings we distribute today, but by how many healthy trees are standing across Ogun State in the years ahead. I therefore call on every resident of Ogun State to become an ambassador for environmental sustainability. Plant a tree, nurture it, protect the trees around you, and encourage others to do the same.
The highlight of the occasion is a symbolic planting of trees by the State Deputy Governor, supported by members of the State Executive Council.
Communities affected by flooding across Lagos State are set to receive critical relief as the federal government intensifies its flood control and sanitation efforts under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope Climate Change Awareness Initiative. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, alongside officials from the Lagos State government, conducted an extensive assessment of key water channels and sanitation facilities to know the issues.
The Joint Technical Assessment Tour commences in Victoria Island to evaluate the lingering impacts of flooding across the state's vulnerable low-lying coastal and mainland networks. The entourage from Abuja, led by the Minister of Water Resources, makes its first stop at the Lubiri Mega Pumping Station a high-capacity flood control and stormwater management facility serving Lagos Island.
We are going to engage more with the Lagos State government, the private sector, and development partners, because the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government is an inclusive government where both the government and the private sector work together as partnership in bringing support to the people of Nigerians.
To make the plant's automated operations seamless, the federal government is currently considering integrating hydroelectric power into the station, which presently relies on 2 heavy-duty generators.
Because of the amount of rainfall we are expecting this year, much higher than the previous years. So definitely that's why we are seeing a lot of flooding in Lagos. So we are not hoping the flooding will continue, but we are expecting, because we are expecting more rains, so probably maybe more flooding.
The inspecting team then proceed to assess critical drainage channels along the Ajegunle axis. Addressing environmental hygiene alongside flood mitigation, the delegation evaluates a municipal public toilet project in Orile Igomu. Designed to treat and reuse wastewater, the initiative is warmly received by residents eager to eradicate open defecation in the area. The tour continues to the Ilo River, a vital waterway sharing a boundary with Ogun State, where the federal government plans to fully channel the river to tackle recurring boundary flooding.
Before coming up with the Luberine mechanical pumping, initiative, Lagos, the whole of Lagos Island had always been flooded, almost permanently flooded, and the government had to come, the Lagos government had to come, to the table and think out of the box and look at the ways and manners to solve that issue. And that gave rise to the solution via the mechanical pumping. And that is what class, you saw it yourself. And that solves the problem there.
Let me just give thanks to the Lagos State government. They have tried. If not because of the Lagos State government, we will have vacated this community. So you can see what they are doing here. Some months ago, they did this one for us, just to prevent the erosion to affect us here. So I've given them that kudos. But it was later we now learned that the federal government are coming to construct this bridge for us. If they can do that, we'll appreciate it.
With strengthened synergy between federal and state authorities, residents in flood-prone communities now anticipate lasting infrastructure solutions and improved living conditions.
The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Kadri Amzat, is urging artisans across the state to leverage on technology and compete globally. Speaking at the 2026 Lagos State Artisans Day celebration, Mr. Amzat says the state government is deliberate in supporting technical and vocational development to ensure inclusive growth across the state.
It's the 2026 Artisans Day celebration at the Blue Roof at Gidingbi, Ikeja, and artisans in Lagos State are here for the annual event focusing on inclusive enterprise, artisans driving wealth creation and prosperity. The event provides an opportunity for the Lagos State government to honor men and women whose skills and enterprise continue to shape the economy of the state.
Artisan demonstrates remarkable resilience and innovation. They build our homes, maintain our infrastructure, power our industries, produce essential goods, provide vital services, and train next generations of skilled professionals.
The leadership of artisans applauds the state government for supporting their business.
We remain the engine room of the informal sectors, providing livelihood for millions, creating employment opportunities. Together, we shall continue to build a stronger informal sector, create more wealth, promote community prosperity,
and contribute to the continued development of Lagos State.
Artisans are advised to take advantage of modern technology to boost their business and compete globally.
The world of work is changing at an unprecedented pace. Technology is transforming industries, and markets are becoming more connected, more competitive, and increasingly digital. For artisans, this presents enormous opportunity. The future will favor those who learn continuously and adapt confidently. And we are committed to equipping Lagos artisans with the digital skills and enabling environment to compete in this new economy.
We will continue to support initiatives that expand opportunities, encourage innovation, that improve your livelihood. I would also like to encourage more youths to embrace the acquisition of vocational skills.
The State Deputy Governor, Kadri Hamzat, says government is fully aware of the challenges being experienced by artisans as a result of a rising cost of living and assures them of easing the burden.
We cannot build a state when you don't have people who are builders. You can't build a state without a bricklayer. We can't do that without a plumber. If we want to build a state that is lasting, we must respect men and women who do the hard work. But going forward, we must do it better. And we will need to work with you.
The Lagos State government says additional 2,000 residents will be trained in vocational skills, and the government also encourages citizens to embrace vocational professions and become self-reliant.
That's Newsroom series. Thank you for watching. From the Southwest, I'm Joker Rogers. Bye for now.